but make sure you have a nice even coat across all of it.
Alright, that's pretty good. I'm wondering
Alright, that should be good for me. Now since I'm only doing the GPU, I'm not gonna have to do the screws and the washers for the CPU part. I'll just try to reinstall the X clamp on there. So now with that, we're gonna reinstall the motherboard into the case, which has your screws and your washers already in it. So when you do this, be careful so you can have your screws not lined up nice and even to go through the board. And I did it backwards. Alright, I kinda messed up by drilling the holes on the wrong part. Like, I drew them over here and they're supposed to go over here, or vice versa. So yeah, you don't want to do that. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but we can go ahead and continue with it anyway. So anyway, I gotta put the screws and washers back in, so let me make sure I do it on the right side, because I don't know what's going to happen again. Okay, so I want them on that side right there. That sucks pretty hard, but oh well. This is a broken 360 anyway, so what's the worst that can happen? It not work anyway, right?
that's what we got. All these should be. So I can do it right.
I gotta make sure I get all these metal extra scrapings off the back, because that's really important. Because if you don't have the spacing exactly right on the back, it'll mess up the spacing on the front. And a whole bunch of crap will be misspaced. You don't want that.
Back and fix it.
Tape.
Try now so we don't come out with the watch on. Alright, shoot.
Now, like I said before, 3 metal washers on each one. Then one followed by 1 nylon washer on each one. So a total of 4 washers in all for now. Alright, now what you're going to do is take your motherboard and put it back in carefully to make sure you align the screws right so you can get them through. I'll move this over here. Screws aren't fitting perfect right now, so I'll try to use a toothpick to get them to fill them whole. Alright, got them all in right now. Alright, now, what Now, before you put your heat sinks back on, you gotta make sure you get all the sticky stuff off the back of your heat sinks too, which I forgot to do. So, I'm gonna get that off right now. Alright, now, with the motherboard back in, what you're going to want to do is take 1 nylon washer first, put the nylon washer on each of the 4, places. Alright, then put a steel one in each of the spots. So that means that there's no metal actually touching the motherboard, because it's the nylon one that's touching. Alright, it's clean now. There's only a little spot on there that I couldn't get off. So that's good. Now, alright, now that I just fought for a minute or 30 trying to get this first heatsink back on that I'm not doing the mod to, I'm going to start recording again, so you guys can't laugh at me that much. Alright, what I'm going to do now is, now that I've cleaned the heatsink off for the GPU, I'm going to reinstall that right here. So make sure you put it in the right way so nothing is covering the holes for the other part there. So carefully put this on, make sure it lines up with all your screws as it should. Now you're going to want to, this is going to be hard, but I think you can do it. While your tape is still on it, you're going to want to turn each one about halfway maybe, or something like that. Only like 1 or 2 times around, just so it gets in there. Now you want to do kitty corner, just like you're doing a tire, just because you're supposed to do it that way. Just so it catches on the heatsink, you know. Alright, what I'm going to do now is go back to the back side, peel off the tape. If I can. And then you're going to want to turn each screw until you feel a little bit of resistance.
Might work, because we might have a screw set magnets, so you feel a little bit of resistance. Again, doing it, some may require more than others.
Now once you feel a little bit of resistance, you start to tighten them down completely now. And really, in all honesty, you can't really overscrew them unless you're really just going at it as hard as you can, but you should be alright as long as you just, you know, get it kind of tight. So I don't know, just turn it a few times on each one, again going kitty corner. Alright, now that we have our 2 heat sinks back in, I switched some screws around and stuff like that. Added a little more, you know, silver Arctic stuff. Now, one of the most important steps is you gotta plug your stuff back in, but don't turn anything on yet. Plug your audio, video in, plug your power cable back in. Now, plug your DVD drive back in, because I'm not sure if Xbox Live can check if you start your Xbox on without your DVD drive on, but I've heard lots of reports of people saying that that counts towards something, so I'm going to put that. Plug my DVD drive back in, settle it in there. Now you got to plug your fan in right now, but don't set it back where it usually is. What you got to do is put it on top of your your DVD drive and your CPU, so that your CPU will stay cool and your GPU will overheat. And you should get the 3 red rings of light. If you get 2 red rings, that's not good. So you want 3, and you want to let it overheat for a bit. Oh, but I forgot. You also have to put this, your ROL board, back on the front.